I think I had to import them from the YouTube. I think that's what I did wrong. I think I had to import them from the YouTube. That's what I did. Yeah, if I click, I'm supposed to be able to click out of here. Supposed to. Um, Now it costs me zero. It's gotta be here. Okay, we're live on YouTube. So now what I'm going to do is hit recording and then you'll be good to go. Okay, sorry, guys. Okay, David, do you need to read anything like the prelude to the meeting or say what this is? And it's starting at 6:45.
I was just gonna say it's the Harpers Ferry Board of Zoning Appeals
Okay,
hearing.
you know, what, let me hit record and then you guys are good and you can start. Good to go.
Okay. This is Monday, July 11th, 2022. We are having the hearing for the Board of Zoning Appeals, Harpers Ferry, for the Heights property at 103 Potomac Street, also 152/154 High Street. Present in the hearing are me via phone, David Simmons, the chairman, Ed Wheelis, the vice chair, is present at the town hall. Lynn Pechakonis, the secretary, is present at the town hall, and member Chad Gaudier is also present via phone. Did I miss anyone? And Pat Morse is assisting. So we have two sets of minutes to approve before we enter the hearing. So I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the June 6th, 2022 hearing at 660 Washington Street minute.
I had a couple of comments on that.
Okay.
On both sets of minutes, I was present, but it wasn't indicated in the attendee list.
I see that. Okay.
Then on the board's findings, second paragraph, it begins that the board found no contributing factors requiring an exception. But I think we were actually considering a variance rather than exception. So I'd like to change that to the board found no hardship or contributing factors requiring a variance to be made to the standard.
This is on the 22nd, the 29th.
This is the June 6, 2022.
Okay, I'm not finding where this is.
Second page.
Okay.
Do you see where the board's finding is as follows in bold?
No contributing factors requiring an exception to be made to the standard. Okay.
Yep, that's the sentence.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah, go ahead.
The board found no hardship or contributing factors requiring a variance to be made to the standard or from the standard.
no hardship. Hardship is part of the variance. What if we just say we find no variance? We find no aspects of the project that require a variance, and make it that. Because hardship is one of the criteria of the variance. It's not like we don't.
We lost you.
But I'm thinking out loud.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, and my thinking went silent for a moment. Yeah, I know I see what you're saying with that. I'm just wondering if we just say simple. The board identified no variances required for the completion of this project.
But we did. They wanted to use K-style gutters, and that would be a variance, and we denied it.
Yeah, I know.
So we found that there was no convincing case that a variance should be issued in this case. We found no compelling evidence of a hardship that would lead us to issue a variance.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
No compelling evidence.
Is that enough to go?
No compelling evidence of a hardship that would, what to a variance, require a variance? or-
Lead us to grant a variance or justify a variance in this case.
Justify sound okay?
Yep.
Justify a
Justify
variance?
issue variance.
And I hate to be a worrywart, but in the following paragraph, it's two sentences. The second sentence is no permit is needed. And I want to make sure that the first sentence and the second sentence are tied together. So I'm suggesting we replace the period between the two and add and, comma, in such case, comma, no permit is needed. So basically it's reads like for like replacement is not required for areas of the house not visible from a public right of way, and in such case, no permit is needed.
That's all one sentence now.
Right.
Yep. I like that, Ed.
That's all.
Okay. So, changes on the second paragraph. Lynn, you want to read that to us?
Yes. The board found no compelling evidence of a hardship that would justify a variance to be made to this standard.
Okay. And then the other sentences stay.
Yes, and then the like for like replacement is not required for areas of the house not visible from a public right of way, and in such case, no permit is needed.
Yeah, very good. Thanks. I move that we accept the minutes as modified.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
What about Chad?
Aye.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
In the second set of minutes, I just changed, I think it said hearing, I changed that to meeting in the very top, not a big change. The biggest change is just some language at the end. It was such a long and so much going on at that meeting. I wanted to kind of summarize what we did so people could understand it. So I just added a sentence at the end that says, Appendix A of Article 13 of the Harpers Ferry Ordinance was reviewed with respect to the following architectural elements. And I listed the elements we dealt with, which were doors, siding, windows, and deck, plus porch. Did I leave any? Did you guys want some more detail to that, or is that good enough?
Works for me.
Okay. I'll move that we approve the June 29th meeting minutes as amended.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Chad wasn't there, he can't vote. That's true. But make sure we add the present as well to
Yeah,
that one.
I'll get that.
Okay, great. This is a hearing for 103 Potomac Street / 152, 154 High Street. And the applicant is not present. We have some more information since our meeting on the 29th, but not all of it. We could discuss some of that information, but I'm inclined to wait for all of it and give us all a chance to digest it, and then schedule a hearing at another time. So this would be a continuation of this hearing. So what we'd probably need a motion for, unless you guys wanted to, if anyone wants to discuss any of the elements of the project.
Well, I was wondering if we could proceed with the hearing tonight, but deliberate later with additional information if we get it. But we wouldn't have to schedule a second hearing with the newspaper notice and all of that.
We can, yeah, I mean, we can, I'm purposely not postponing the hearing. I'm continuing the hearing, which I was told we could do without having to go through that 15-day notice requirement again.
Okay.
Do you want, I can call the hearing to order and then we can discuss, and then we can entertain a motion to continue the hearing at a later date. Is that what you're suggesting, Ed?
No, but I can go with that.
Okay. Well, what are you suggesting? Tell me. I'm misunderstanding. What did you?
Oh, I was just suggesting we conduct the hearing tonight, and then we schedule deliberations at a later time without a follow-on hearing.
Okay.
With the additional information that's required.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I think as part of the hearing, you can request additional facts and information that come in after the hearing. So basically, we'd have the hearing. We would identify where the application is short and just follow it up
Yeah.
with a deliberation.
Yeah.
But I'm okay either way.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not sure the applicant got a lot of notice. Pat, you can tell me if does the applicant seem like she wants to participate?
I don't know. Chad, are you still on the phone? We may have lost Chad because there's only one light on the phone.
Oh.
There's two numbers, but one light. I don't know. Kevin has had all of the contact with her, not me.
Okay. She only got, as far as I know, I sent an email today asking if she got notice, and she didn't get any until today about the hearing
Oh,
date and time. So I'm inclined to say I'd rather give her an opportunity to talk to us and not us jump into deliberation without her talking to us. if she wants to, at least give her that opportunity.
Could we leave that open to, if she wants to have a chance to address us, we will schedule a continuance, or,
Yeah,
but if she doesn't, we won't.
we can go straight to deliberation then the next time we meet. Okay. So, I guess I'll call the hearing to order for 103 Potomac Street / 152, 154 High Street. I'll have to get a better name than that. And we're here to discuss variances with respect to several architectural features with the project. We have identified, we've asked the applicant for more information.
David,
Yep.
can you hang on? Chad,
Thank you for using Frontier Communications.
I don't have
For
one.
quality purposes, your call may be recorded. For an additional charge of $1.50.
I have no idea how that happened.
Operator, please press 0 or say operator now.
I want to drop that. I don't know how to drop that. All right, David,
To place a call, press 1. For directory assistance,
does it really?
or to speak to an op.
All right, I may have to call David back.
That extension is not valid.
Oh, I thought I hung up on you. All right, let's try this again. I'm so sorry. Well, I think this was the writing on the wall since this afternoon. Are we,
That extension is
speaker 9.
Hello, David Simmons.
Hi, it's Patty. Now hang on, I'm gonna put Chad in. Chad dropped, and when I tried to get him back in, I lost control. So hang on a second.
I'm here.
Okay, hang on. Okay, I think I've got you both on the phone again.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, I hear Chad. So I don't know what you heard, Chad. I had opened the hearing and was describing what we were doing. That we have an application before us that requires variances with respect to some architectural features, and that we asked the applicant for information, some of which we have and some of which we do not have. Okay. I would, I guess, open the floor. The variances we discussed, let's just start with the windows. We're trying to determine if they are the same size as the windows that were there, and the applicant has responded to it. I believe that they are the same size. I'm going to pull up Kevin's email on that very quickly.
However, if we believe this was formerly a two-level porch that was enclosed, I'm not sure the current windows are significant or historic to us.
Right. And we're not, I'm not sure the second story was enclosed from the pictures I've seen either.
No, I think they were open air porches that were enclosed at some point
Right.
to make living
Right.
space.
Yeah, and we do have an email and some information from the Historic Landmarks Commission for me they held last week that we should review and discuss. And maybe that's where we start with the contributing structure kind of discussion and kind of understand where to go from there. Did everybody get a chance to review the email that we got last week from the Historic Landmarks Commission?
I did, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to open the floor for discussion about how to proceed with respect to that, the bump out. And Ben wants to discuss how we should look at the variances with respect to those, just that structure itself. Like the Landmarks is recommending we, let me pull that up. So they're encouraging the property owner to replace the wooden deck with a 2 or 3 level porch, which better matches the character of the historic lower town. But I think it's kind of confusing because I think the deck that's there is not part of the historic. It is not part of the historic 2-story porch. So what do you guys think the recommendation is there is to?
Wasn't there a second email with a little bit more detail?
The second email from, was a response to Ed's email, which said, I think the 2-story porch was enclosed, which forms the rear bump out of the building. So the deck, meaning the deck isn't part of the historic structure. Like the deck didn't replace the original porch, I'll say. Am I reading that right, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so back to the Landmarks recommendation, unless there's another email in it, I'm going back to the multiple bullet email that was sent from Historic Landmarks on Friday the 8th at 11:19 a.m.
Okay, so that's the one, but they said they'd like to encourage owners to replace the current deck with a true, and replace asphalt shingles with, that doesn't make sense either. Sorry, I was thinking that he said something else that was more helpful.
Yeah, because I don't think roofing was part of
No,
the project.
no,
at all.
and unfortunately, we don't have the actual minutes from that meeting because I'm not
Okay.
sure that email reflects what was said in the meeting.
So I guess my struggle is the 2-story porch and deck. Like, they're recommending no deck, basically. And that we go back to turning the covered area into covered porches again, which I don't know if that means screens, if that means windows, but no deck.
Yeah,
So
I didn't necessarily read it that way. I didn't read that they were, advising against the deck so much as suggesting the owner consider putting a two-story porch on the back. Basically, putting a porch on the porch is how I read it, but I don't know, do you have a sense for that, Lynn?
No.
Okay.
I
I think Len and I are in agreement that, we can't ask them to tear off living space and replace it with double porches. That's, I think what they've proposed, I think what's there now is kind of non-contributing, and I think we should treat it as such. It'd be nice to kind of give the illusion of a double porch on the back if they were willing to do that, but I think we have to either approve or deny the application on it as presented.
Well, we really don't have any idea when that little back deck was installed doing. The other issue is they're going to need access to that. And you look at the quarter residence next door, that's probably what HLC is considering looking at, preferably. Are you guys familiar with that property next door?
Yeah,
Yep.
but that's all renovated, right?
Yeah, that's all been renovated. I don't know how old this two-story section that's enclosed is.
I'm pretty sure Chris Quarters is the same story, that
Yeah,
the footprint of the porches today are outside of the old porches that were
Because
set
he
back quite a
definitely
bit.
added on to the back of the.
Yeah, that
house.
house is a lot
Correct.
deeper than it shows in the old pictures.
yeah, and then without regarding that, the two-story porches that they have in the back of the quarter property is more in line of what HLC is probably considering or almost requesting. Is that correct? Instead of the just replacement of the wooden deck.
That was my read.
Yeah,
Although I don't know
That's
if we
a
could,
significant
we could
difference.
require that. I think it could be suggested.
yeah.
Are you talking about the property uphill, the stone house B&B or?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and the picture from the email doesn't show it next door very well, but he had done that probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago.
It seems to me like, I think we determined that maybe like it was there were original porches from the old pictures that we're looking at. And then at some time, maybe after the 30s, it was covered over. So it's not contributing if it's added that late, right? So a lot of this stuff, really, we can only apply the guidance for newer structures, right? To make it look historic, but we can't apply the requirements for it for a contributing structure. Is that right? Since it's so new.
Say that again for me slowly. I'm trying to.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Can you say it
that I
better than
agree.
me?
No, I think we said it fine.
So if it is not a contributing structure, the enclosed bump out, then we cannot apply the guidance for a contributing structure. We can only apply the guidance for a non-contributing structure that still makes it look like it fits in the character of the town. According to the guidelines in the appendix.
And that portion of the building being closed in and originally an open air porch doesn't qualify or encompass the entire property. You're just looking at that one section as not contributing.
I feel like that's the original kind of shape of the contributing structure,
Yeah,
right? I
but
mean,
then closed in.
but then it got closed in, so
Okay, and at that point, if it was the original porch and it's closed in, whenever that was closed in, does it not fall under a contributing structure?
I don't,
At what point do you say it doesn't?
yeah.
The date?
well, I
You
think
know,
if it's
I'm looking at the-
if it's a add-on, certainly. You don't
But
consider,
if the porch was, say the porch was built in the late 1800s, even the turn of the century, and then it was closed in, like she said, in the 30s. But whenever that may have done.
yeah, I think at that point, it lost its character. It's
Right, but
significant.
does that mean it's not a contributing, or a portion of that building is not a contributing structure at that point, and we treat it differently? I guess what I'm looking for is some kind of, at what point or date do you not consider it a contributing structure and treat it differently from our perspective?
Well, I
Yeah,
think it's already been compromised. And so it's no longer the historic fabric that we want to preserve.
It's not the original windows, it's not the original door opening.
Right. Yeah, I got that.
There's nothing historic about what you see there today.
Except for the shape. Like,
Yeah, you couldn't argue the shape, really,
window
yeah.
and door perspectives, I'm with you. Siding, yeah,
Well, they aren't
But the
suggesting a
shape-
change to the shape.
I'm sorry, did I get it?
Do you feel like they're proposing a change to the shape?
No, I'm actually proposing the opposite, that it still retains its shape. And I mean, so now maybe it's not I think maybe that we were circling back to Lynn's point, was that it's the contributing, take away shape, all the other elements are not contributing, don't make it a contributing structure anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we just want it to be built under the historic guidelines for non-contributing structures. Is that what you're saying, Lynn? Like, it's none of the elements right now, the door, the windows, the siding are to be preserved, and now let's move ahead and build in accordance with the historic guidelines, not the contributing structure guidelines, which are a little more stringent, but the historic guidelines for the historic district, I'll say.
Yeah, I was floating that as my understanding of how it works, yes.
Okay, now I understand where you're going.
Okay,
I feel like we're kind of moving from the hearing to the deliberation. Do we
Yeah.
want to? I think we did a pretty good job of identifying where we had questions, and that list still stands. So if there aren't any changes to that, should we close the hearing and move into?
Yeah, I think I wanted to make sure we kind of entered in the record the new information we have since the meeting we had, and then knowing that we're going to accept more information as we move along. So
So the new information is the input from Landmarks.
info from Landmark and 2 emails from Kevin today regarding the information about the windows and the door. So
And I didn't see those,
a
so
picture.
what did he have to say?
He sent us I thought he sent to all of us, and he did not. Okay. He sent a picture of the door, which I will forward to all of you, and he sent another picture of the windows, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, just a picture of the door and some text in an email that indicated answered some of our questions, that it was rotting plywood under the shingle. And I'll send this to you guys, and it'll become part of the record. And the windows will be the same size as she has now. So that will be new information that we can look at prior to the next time we meet. And I apologize for not saying this to you. They came this afternoon.
So because I think it's important to hear from the homeowner, the applicant regarding the details of the deck and the railing. I would move that we continue the hearing when she can come if possible.
I think that would be greatly helpful and to have all the information in front of us.
Yep.
We're kind of walking in the dark here.
Yeah, and I think it'll be hard to set a date right now because I do not know. I've also asked Kevin to tell me if he has a sense of when he thinks we'll get this information, because I don't want to schedule it and then we're getting it at 3 p.m. on the date of the hearing. So,
Right.
so we can keep it open and then we can announce it, and we'd have to do 48-hour notice to do the next time we meet. So. So I'll move that we continue this. Okay, I'll move that we close the hearing.
Second,
I'll move that we continue the hearing at a later date.
I'll second.
Any
Sir.
discussion?
2 separate motions.
I'm sorry, Ed?
Is that 2 separate motions? It's to close this hearing and continue at a later date.
Yeah, I'm rescinding my motion to close the hearing because the hearing is going to stay open. We're going to continue it at a later date. So I rescinded that motion. So the motion standing is that we continue this hearing at a later date to be agreed upon by the board.
And I think Chad seconded.
Chad did second it.
Yep.
Any other discussion?
No,
All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Sorry about the chaos today, you guys.
right, so we're adjourned officially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
we should be.
Give me a
the
minute.
packing. All right, so I will, working with